What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Comeback Couples Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Jennison, with
Kendra Jennison.
Hey, it's been a while since we've been here.
Whoa, it's literally been
A month.
One month.
A month, yeah. And I
a
apologize.
lot can happen in a month.
That is actually how I wanted to open this thing up. So let's just look at it real quick, right? If you guys notice, I've got this nice piece of robot arm? Bionic arm man over here. And if you want to get in there, Kevin, you can show these people this surgery I had. Ripped my bicep off. So let's talk about what we've been through in just the past 2 or 3 weeks.
If I can remember, okay, let's see.
Well, number one, we lost a multi-six-figure lawsuit that's now going to trial, right? Which is fucking crazy that it could just literally be taken from us.
Still irks me.
$350,000 gone. Our friend, brother, and person I care about, Ryan, struggling with some mental health.
Yep.
He's a guy that typically makes these. That has weighed heavy. Ripped my bicep off. Had to have it surgically attached.
Yes.
Facebook shut down for like 3 days, which used to really, I mean, those are big things that just happen in my world or our world. So it's not like things don't just happen to us.
Oh, when they happen, they happen.
We were actually talking about that the other day, right? I was like, man, it's not like, the topic of the conversation today is flexing and doing it our way.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I want you to talk a little bit about what you and Kevin were saying in the dancing and the leadership thing. I think that'd be great from a woman's point of view.
Sure.
Because, I mean, that was cool that you guys got that synchronicity in that saying. But flexing and doing it our way. Because through all of the things we have going on in our life right now, inside of the chaos, I can find clarity. Inside of the confusion, I can find clarity. Mm-hmm. Inside of the pain, I'm finding purpose, right? Inside of the purpose, we're finding power, production, and profits. It's like, specifically in my life right now, as things fall apart, and it's not just right this second. I want to take a minute and talk about it and get your perspective, but the things that we face day in and day out, building this life for us is complicated if we allow it to be complicated.
Sure.
But when we look at, two other things, right? Whether it attacks us or hits us or not, my dad with his cancer, Phoenix Mom with his cancer, just all these different things. Like, our life is hit over and over and over and over, death and tragedy, but we always seem to come out not unscathed, but closer.
You and I.
You and I.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even the family.
I think what's awesome, and there's so much truth in that, is because we come from a place of no matter how chaotic things get, and clearly life does get chaotic with everything that you just shared, you and I share a very, very common thought in that we are not each other's enemy. We're supposed to work together. So you and I, when times get tough, we pick up our sword together and we, sword hand in hand, we're right next to each other. We're fighting the battle together, right? So as chaotic as it gets and how messy it can get, it's never he's the enemy or I'm the enemy. It's this is the enemy. Let's fight it together.
Let's talk about actually an experience of that happened. I mean, I don't know when the court day was. There's a chance we could still win this. We have to go to trial and spend a bunch more money. But the day that it happened, I told you coming in, like, I'm just kind of planning and prepping that it's not gonna go our way. And
we both were.
But when it did not go our way, it kind of hit you hard.
I was still so pissed. And I knew I would be. But.
And we were out walking, and I had to remind you. I said, hey. You said in this experience where we brought these men in front of these 6 guys, that you will pick up the sword and fight right alongside me.
Yes.
And although it's okay to put the sword down for a minute and for you to have a little bit of space and to feel sad or upset or angry or worried or whatever feeling you're feeling at that moment, like, I need you to pick this fucking sword up.
I was so glad that you said that, because I was feeling defeated. I felt, defeated is just the better word for it. And not defeated as in, helpless. It was just like, man, this is another thing that is just kicking my ass. And as strong as I am, and I like to be, in that moment, it was a really awesome reminder for me to just be like, hey, you said. So, pick your head up, put your crown back on, pick the sword up, and let's fucking go. And so when you gave me that space and I was still able to feel what I needed to feel, and then I picked my sword back up and I said, okay, let's go.
And there's a reason for that, is because I need you to be good and to fight, and for you to be okay, because I need you to see what I've done to get us here.
Absolutely.
And if you can't see what I've created, it means I'm failing us.
Yep.
Right? Because I get up every day and put that sword on. War and more, war and more, war and more. I want to go fight. I want to go crazy. I want to hunt down. Like I'm in a place right now today, which we could do a whole nother podcast. And I haven't even talked. I kind of talked to you about the new offer, and I haven't even told Kevin about things we're doing. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm giving everything we have in this thing. I'm sick and tired of playing fucking small. And people are like, you're not playing small, Mark, but I know inside I am.
Yeah.
Right? I know that the magnitude of what the sword that we actually yield together is so much larger than what it is. We have to go fucking hunt. And people have been sleeping on us. I'm just going to go into flexing for a long time, and I'm done fucking sleeping. People sleep on me, not because I want them to acknowledge me, because I want to fucking win for me and actually for something larger than me, which is God. I know I swear and talk about God at the same time. But anyways, here's my point. You needed to feel that way, but I also then needed to remind you of where we came from.
Yeah.
Because some of the problems we used to face back in the day were $100 problems. Now we're having six-figure problems, mid-six figures.
Sure.
And I looked at you and I said, there's a good possibility that at 100 million or 25 million that these become seven-figure problems or even eight-figure problems.
You were right.
Right?
That was a big realization for me to hear, because this is our life now, you know? Problems don't go away.
This problem
they
would have
just-
wiped us out when we got married.
Exactly.
Right? We would have wiped out when we got married.
Yep.
Here, it didn't do anything.
Yep.
Besides piss you off and you pick up the
Piss me
sword and
off,
fight, right?
yeah.
Back up 3 years ago, when I made some mistakes, it almost fucking wiped us out. We've got stronger and stronger and stronger as we go.
Yeah.
Building a life for us. So I want to give people some peace of mind in that it's not just about the money, but the money is the trophy that keeps score, right? And we can get into flexing and doing things our way. And we go around and around and around about, like, what do we really want?
It's one of the toughest questions for me to answer.
Why do you think that is?
It's one of the toughest questions for me to answer because genuinely, down to my core and in my soul, I've never wanted for things. And it might sound cliche and it might sound dumb, but I have peace of mind, I have love, I have health, I have everything. And not to say that I don't. I feel that it would be easier and more quantifiable if I could look at you and I could say, okay, I want this multi-million-dollar house, I want this car, I want this, this, and this. To a man of your stature, your brain goes, okay, I need to make this much, I need to work this hard, I need this, 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 and this. When you don't have somebody who wants those things or doesn't care about those, not that I don't want them because I think they're fantastic, I really do, but it doesn't jazz me up. You know what I mean?
It's not why you get up and go to
It's
work.
not what I. It's not why I.
It's
get
not why
up.
we're doing this podcast.
It's not why I do this podcast. It doesn't, it just doesn't. And again, not that I don't think those things are awesome or lovely and aren't awesome reasons to get up and go to work, because I think they are. But for us personally, it just, like I said, it doesn't jazz me up in the morning. It's not where I'm like, my feet hit the ground and I'm like, yes, today I'm going to work because I want to drive a whatever fancy car, right? It just doesn't do it for me. And there's
And to be clear, there's not a well, I shouldn't say
not a car that I can't have.
There's some
There's not a
really
house I
like
can't- I
there's
mean,
some hyper
maybe
cars
not,
that we
yeah.
can't afford. But like if you wanted to drive a Lamborghini, you could have it. If you want to drive a Bentayga, you could have it. Like
And that might also, there might be some psychology that once I got to this place of, oh wow, I could pretty much have that, the chase and the excitement goes away from it. So I'm like, well, I don't really care. I have an awesome car, you know. I have a fantastic house. I have land. I have acreage. I have you and the kids, and I just.
yeah, by society's terms, we win. But here's why I want to go on the flex, right? Why I'm talking about that. I was thinking about all these things that are hitting us, and I talk about coming out with clarity. And like I realized for me, which I think is, well, I don't think, I know it's what leads us, is like I don't really do it for things either.
Yeah, and to be truthful, this isn't like a high horse answer. Living this way has gotten us into a lot of trouble, a lot of financial mistakes where we have not had clarity on, okay, how do we elevate our life, or what does that look like, or, you know, when we think that it should look this way. And
Because you start doing what other people do.
and because you think, oh, this is what success is like, or, you know, you can fall into that. And we've fallen into things and we haven't had clarity, and we've, you know, made financial mistakes, and, you know, just recently with the $350,000, that sucks. You know, I can't help, or when we've had conversations when we're walking, that may not have happened if we had exceptional clarity on, okay, this is what we want, this is where we're going. Because you and I are so nomadic. Is that even a word?
Yeah, I got a shitload of Viking blood running through me at all times.
You literally do.
I just want to,
We're
I don't want to
just
say rape
good.
and plunder, but it's like,
Sounds terrible. But yeah, being good with where you're at and not wanting for the things. I don't mean to say it as like a patronizing or like high horse answer. It's fantastic, and there's so much peace in that. But also, you can get into some trouble.
Yeah.
Like, and we really have, you know. So I think it's a double-edged sword. Really, is the best way to look at it.
so you look at it as it's trouble. I just look at it as it's all part of it. And I take
Mm-hmm.
a step back and I look at the whole grand scheme of things of what I'm actually building and working towards.
Yeah.
And I know that I'll only hit like a fraction of the success that's possible, because if I help enough people get, this is cliche as hell, but if I help them get what they want, I will get everything that I want. At the same time, I have what I want. So what I recognize now
Yeah.
is like, okay, now that I do it, because there's this thing in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, I want this and I want this and I want this, and I do it. And then I'm like, yeah, but I really don't.
So you said earlier, that
I had to ask myself why.
So you said earlier in this podcast that you're ready to flex. So what does that mean? What does that look like?
What does that mean to me?
Yeah.
It's not things. It's to literally do it my way and to show the fuck up and make the results of the men that I like, pour everything I have into these guys.
Mm-hmm.
My flex is going to be when Kevin over there is a millionaire. Chris Rager, Corey, the guys that roll
Yeah.
with me, like the dudes that have bled with me.
Mm-hmm.
When I can make them millionaires,
Yep.
when they can live this life, because they don't do it for money either,
Oh, I know.
right?
Yeah.
Sure, they need money and they like to have nice things, but they're not doing it for money. The flex for me, and I've known it all, is where it gets fucking weird, is I have a lot of friends that are ultra successful and they have nicer things than me, but what they don't have that I have is absolute clarity and peace of soul.
Yep. Yeah.
I walk around, and I mean, let's talk about it, and I walk around in direct communion and state of prayer almost all day long, fully knowing, and I mean, you know, this is maybe weird to hear or say, maybe it's not, maybe it's a story I'm telling myself, but like, I don't feel like I even go to work ever.
Yeah.
And I work around the clock. So my flex is to be able to get these guys ultra successful, but the flex is to make this thing known that we're here and it's not going anywhere. Like,
I think that's the greatest flex. Truly, I do.
like to establish a foothold on the recovery space in such a deep way that people will know that this thing is legit. It is legit for those that have it, but I'm talking about like global and impactful, and the tools, and taking the I'm a comeback framework and building women, not through me coaching, but taking all the stuff that we've done to help this vertical and watching it branch slowly. It's going to take the rest of my life. It will not be me that finished this thing. The biggest flex for me is to be able to build something that transcends beyond us.
Yes.
Like, I'm not working, and I'm talking like.
Yeah. No, I know.
But then when I look at, and also I think there's my flex is to let the world, not to let the world know, but to let myself know, and to let the people around me who are close to me know that I don't operate from the same place as them, and that's fucking okay.
That's one of my greatest flexes that you have, that you own.
Like, I've never fit in.
Nope.
I don't really want to fit in. I'm okay with not having a large social media following. I don't really care. I'm not able to respond back to everybody. Every now and again, I actually go through and respond back to people.
Yeah.
My point is that, like, I'm going to work just as hard when I was negative 1 million in my bank account as I am millions in my bank account.
Yep. You do too. Yeah.
It's not for more things. It's for more work.
And
I just fucking love
truly
it.
love to work.
And I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, looking at this new I'm committed and convicted to working, doing the work,
The
day in
hunt,
and
the
out.
kill.
The hunt, the kill, right? Like
It's bred blood inside of you. Yeah.
it's in everything that we do.
Yeah.
But I think too many people try to flex on what they have or what they want, and they try to showcase a life that is smoke and mirrors.
Well, we know
Which is
that to
great,
be
like,
true.
but at the same time, like I'm happy for everybody for that because that what makes them tick. That makes them tick. Like this is
I
not
agree.
some sort of division I'm trying to create.
No.
I guess my flex is that like I'm finally able to stand on my own 9 years into this thing and be like, dude, I'm gonna come back as me. And it's a branch of me. And the people that come to me are guys that are like, yeah, we love the work, we love the hunt, we love the kill.
Yeah.
We want to be free. Now our freedom is to fight and fight and fight. I mean, we got a call the other day, and I got two guys that are, I mean, I'll leave one guy's like, yeah, I got to close 50 million this month and I got to close 100 million this month. And I've got tons of those clients, right? I'm like, bro, like I'm just like creeping up on 1 million a month, right?
Yeah.
Like you're at 50 million a month, at 100 million a month. I'm like, and you come to me for advice?
Yeah.
And that's what I realized. Like the flex isn't about the money. It's about what I have that they don't have. And that is a certain amount of conviction to the fucking cause.
Exactly.
My cause is to radically shift the world's opinion on alcoholism, period, the end. Then to take the principles that have helped liberate and eliminate fear, doubt, worry, pain, disease, weakness of the mind, and take it into people that are overweight, that are obese, that have been beaten, that have been cheated on, that have been molested, men, women, children, and to take and fucking make this thing a legit experience so that that word on my wall, I am a comeback, is an international statement of power and an identity that each and every man and woman is proud to wear the shirt, not just because alcohol is there. And when I come from that place, I'm like, hey, guess what the real benefit is? And they said it in church and you know it. Or what the real trophy is. It's
Saving souls.
Saving souls.
Yeah. I love that.
And it started with me. But it actually started for Phoenix. I had to save his soul. Save my soul to save his soul. Now I've got you. And I was blessed with a family. I was blessed with friends. I was blessed with so many things. Like right now at 43 years old, as my world opens up and we've got this, and this is could be a whole nother podcast, but there's a heavy tone of God all over the place. And sometimes I'm like, man, Mark, like, is it too much? But I'm like, what else do I have to talk about right now? I can't, if I'm not talking about what's working in my life, I'd be lying.
Exactly. Wow, yeah.
Like for real, like, what am I supposed to do? Just be quiet again? Like that, you walked in and I was doing that conversation, right? Am I not supposed to tell the world that my wife, who was an atheist, is searching and seeking, and she opened up the Bible today for the first time in her life and read it?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Well, you're telling me.
It's beautiful.
It really is.
I mean, Kevin over here is thinking about going to church to listen to music.
Probably love it.
I mean, I'm not saying that. And what's cool about it is like, I'm not forcing anybody to go to God. I literally just talk and I be me, and everyone's like, hey, what? There's something cool kind of happening over here.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened to me in a kind of roundabout way, but yeah. I was like, wait, there might be something to this.
I mean, from the plant medicine to, I mean, I know that it's been a wild journey and I do some wild things, but my flex for real is not about, our flex right now is doing things our way. And what's great about it is that our way is an evolution every day.
Yeah.
Because I'm adapting and changing and becoming something different every day, and you're becoming every day, so we don't even know our way.
Yeah, exactly. I really, as we live our life, I don't ever think of the term flex. We're just.
I just use it because I read.
No, it's relatable. So I know what you mean when you say that, and it actually paints a really good picture for everybody that listens in terms of, everything you explained. But as far as you and I, when we live our life, never in my conscious thought am I like, oh, I need to flex, or this is a great flex, or whatever, because it's just. I guess, one, I never care about it, and two, we are in such constant pursuit of evolving as a couple, as a family, as everything, that is the internal flex. Like, I don't feel like I have to ever showcase that, or I suppose that's why people do it, to showcase, right? It just happens, and it's great, and to me that is, again, it's everything inside of it.
I mean, where we exist in the internet, people want to show lifestyle is really cool.
And I understand it is a big part of the social media game, right? The flex, and yeah, we kind of talked about it before, but for us,
That's when I come.
the internet is such a small. I mean, it's everywhere, but people online, the internet, it's such a small.
That was a feeling that I had in church yesterday. I'm like, what matters more, the internet life that we're in or this community that I'm sitting? I was watching a lady in front of us. She was like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She had her hands up, and I could tell that her son something was off, right?
Sure.
And she was whispering in his ear, and she was like,
I saw.
I could tell she was like trying to get him to find the Lord or whatever, like something, you know, like loving him, or like I was like, I saw love right before me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, dude. Like, not that I can never stop doing the internet, because the internet is the world, it's a real world, but like I live inside of a community that is begging right now for a leader. Many leaders, right? I look at like just this week in the next conversation with Pastor Josh, and like I'm like finding my people here. You got Dante, you've got, which I'm like, okay, I can trust him, right? I like him. There's Pastor Josh. There's my friend Paul Lazzaroni. He texted me that day, and then there's Matt Paddock. I'm like, man, there's some strong men actually right around here that I should probably become friends with. Right, I'm already friends with them, but like I don't allow the relationship to go. I don't know where I'm going with this, other than the fact that when I was sitting inside there, I'm like, what matters the most? Like, we use the word flex. Is my flex for what the world sees on the outside, or for who I am every day that I drive past these people where I live, where my sons and my daughters and my wife work out of the same gyms and drive past each other and wave each other? Have I done enough work outside to come in and show them who the fuck we are?
Sure.
Can I a comeback be real in my backyard?
Yeah.
Other than these people that talk shit about me, that say that I used to know Mark, that are talking shit behind my back, right? Out here, out in the streets, I can give a fuck about these people. But I'm out here trying to wake people up every day in towns and cities and countries that we've never been in or will be in. What about the people in my backyard? Mm-hmm. I clearly know, like, and that's what makes it difficult. I know we're kind of going all over the place, but I really don't care. But what makes it difficult is, part of the reason I'm having a hard time leaving here is because I still feel like I got work to do here. Mm-hmm. What do you guys say about that?
I mean, I'm in agreement. You and I have never done a great job of immersing ourselves in the community. We're always wanting to. We have a longing for helping and for helping. What does that look like? How do we do that? And then, of course, we have the internet, and we help
thousands of people.
Thousands of people, and we have such a unique skill set. I mean, obviously you, and by proxy me. There's already things I was good at, but I love being around people and immersing myself, and it's just something that we've never done in our community. We always, for a long time, we liked that we were outcast. We were like, all right, yeah, we don't need anybody. It's just you and I.
Yeah, I painted that picture for us. That's what we needed, because I was
and you
judging.
did. You painted.
I was
that
angry.
Picture. Yes, of course. And once we kind of shattered that story, and we were like, hey, no, we can do this. Let's get involved in our community. Let's show our kids that it's important, and it can be fun, and it can be a blessing, and all of these amazing things that happen when you really do, and all the people that you meet. And I mean, Lauren and Dante are perfect examples of that, right? Just, hey, this is what happens when you allow yourself to be a part of a community, and there are really great people still that you can meet. And
just hearing you talk, thinking and using the word flex is like, just shine bright. I'm ready to just shine.
Yeah.
In ways, not for my glory though.
In ways that we've never done.
Yeah.
And this push towards it is really exciting. It's really fun. I've had so much fun. You know, our weeks are filled with a lot of love and surrounded by a lot of good people right now. And we sit at a place where, okay, how can we give back now?
Absolutely.
Like we just feel good hanging around you guys and being around you, and okay, how can we give, you know? And I think that's where we're at a place with that right now, and it's fun.
And there was a massive breakthrough this week when we realized, like, there's another thing we didn't mention. We pulled the girls out of school. The girls are now
Oh yeah, I'm homeschooling. That's a
homeschooled.
huge one.
That's all everything. We said, yeah, let's get the girls out of school. But it leaves us in a place of, like, our son is Mr. Joe sports guy, right? Super cool sports guy friends.
like the
Going to the
coolest
gym
kid.
afterwards. Anyways, long story short, I know we're coming up on time. That's shutting off.
This one did, but I'll.
So we are in a place where, like, okay, what do we do with him?
Yeah.
And then I realized that I'm going to just make a massive impact on this place for the next 4 years, and then we're going to go.
Yep.
And we're going to travel 8
Already-
to 12 times a year,
Yeah.
live here, and just own this place.
It's exciting.
So,
So I don't know where that was kind of like all over the place, like you said, but
doesn't matter.
flexes can be whatever you want it to be.
And also, well, what I want people to understand about that is, like, I can get on here and talk about what we want because we're just doing this to give. We ask for nothing on this podcast. People love it. They like to hear it all the time. I hear about the podcast. Well, this is actually a form of tithing and giving back.
I love it.
Right? Giving back and giving back. We don't monetize this thing.
No, probably could, but we don't.
Good, we don't.
Yeah.
I just do it because I like working with you.
Yeah, me too.
Right? It gives us something to do together, and I like the discipline and consistency. It makes me feel good. So I'm gonna do just a call to action for every man or woman that's watching this thing. I would spend an hour walking, talking, sitting, journaling, thinking, right? And getting crystal clear on who you are. If you can figure out who you are beyond who you think you are, beyond what the world sees you as and your wife sees you at, and you can spend time getting crystal clear on who you are, you will shortcut a lot of the headaches that I had. I've spent a long time, am I this, am I that, am I this? I pushed away a calling
Yes.
of, like, am I the alcohol guy? When I fully accepted the alcohol guy, which was about 6-7 months ago,
Yes.
which was mind-blowing because we'd helped thousands of
Oh
people.
my goodness.
This reality that we live in right now, this, like, warp of time and just prosperity and divinity and connection and people, the minute that I owned who I am and I said, I'm going here,
Yeah.
look at what's happening in the family.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
When I sing in church, I'm a great singer, you guys sing. You might just mumble the words. I watch your guys' lips. You and Phoenix stand next to me every single weekend. I sit right in the middle for a reason. So I can hold your hand, I can hold his hand so you guys feel loved. I don't know if you know that or not.
I do know.
When I pray over you guys. When I speak over you guys because that's who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is unfolding and unpacking right here before you. So spend time for you guys out there that are watching this thing, asking yourself who you are, and then once you can figure out, start hunting it down only. And do not be surprised when you realize that that changes
Really quick.
as you progress and you become more, then you become more, and then there's another level to ascend to. So anything else you want to add?
I love that. Nope.
All right, well, that's it for this week's episode. We'll see y'all next week.